Yo, what is going on, guys? Boy, Mini Jacked YGO here, and today, coming at you guys with a Master Duel deck profile. This game's so fun, bro. I love this game. I've been waiting on it for months, of course, like everybody has, and I decided first thing, might as well make Fluffals, because best of one. I feel like Fluffals really good because it's good going first and second, and Cubics also is pretty sleeper. I might come out with that deck profile too, but right now I have Fluffles. It's almost there. I mean, of course, I could just pick up some cards, like spend my things. Just not 100% sure on what I want to spend it on yet. But as of right now, this deck is very solid. And I have a really, really good replay. I just sort of like inspired me to do this. That I wanted to show off to you guys. And I know you guys have been waiting for an updated Fluffal deck profile. Now I have access to droplets without having to spend over $100 or $300 for a playset. But you know, so yeah, I'll get into it in a second. But yeah, the deck is really, really fun, really, really good. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. I'll see you then. Alright guys, so this is the deck that I've been stomping on ranked, which I haven't even been playing that much, but of the few games I've played, this Fluffal deck has done really, really well. It's quite standard, I'd say, but always there's some changes, as you can see with the OCG ban list, but yeah, so I'll just get into it. I don't know if you can even sort cards in here. I don't know what order it goes off, but whatever. Anyways, starting off, Fluffal Wings 1, or 1 Fluffal Wings. Obviously the card's super good, but it's easily accessible, and it's like a really like big Ash bait or Ghost Bell bait. So yeah, and also dies to Joel, so it's nice not having more than one. If you can fit in two, you can fit in two, but there's not a lot of deck space. So I mean, yeah, only one. Which I find is pretty standard too. Also pretty standard, 1 Fluffal Octopus. Really good for recursion in your grind game. Yeah, when it's summoned, obviously you get to add back a Fluffal or Agent from grave, and then when it gets sent as fusion material, you can recycle like your Wings and Sabers from your banished, or like any monster, any two monsters from your banished, which is pretty nice. 1 Fluffal Sheep, actually like really good. You can search it off a dog, make a free link too, and then if you have like Edgem Chain engraved because you have to pitch it for Toy Vendor or something, you recycle it back, or like it's engraved from a previous turn, you get like the Edgem Chain effect again. It's a super good card, of course. Only 1 Edgem Sabers because it's searchable. You could run it maybe at 2, but probably really bricky, so I wouldn't really advise it. Just one's like the perfect ratio because it's also recurable from the grave too, so if you need to summon a second tiger or whatever, then just do that. 2 bear. I like running 2 because I feel like 3, like you run through Toy Vendors so quick in this deck. 3 bear doesn't help your grind game at all. It obviously recycles poly, but there's like much better normal summons at that point. So 2 bear I like. 1 Ash Blossoms I got from the bundle. Just why not? Like a lot of these tech choices are sort of like, oh, I got them for free, or like I got them from a previous deck. Like I'll skip over here. 3 droplets here from when I built Cubics not that long ago, like literally like yesterday or this morning, I forget. But anyways, yeah. For this, we're running 3 Edgem Scythe. Traditionally, you run 2, but we're just running 3 because it's a best of 1. And if you lose the die roll, then you don't have too many going second. Obviously, there's Forbidden Droplets and Spell and Trap removal and Ash, but 3 Edgem Scythe is good for a going second build, and I feel like Master Duel you're gonna want to going forward probably orient your decks more so you have a lot of going second options. A lot of decks where it's like just straight up gas going first but can't break boards is probably not going to be the best in Master Duel. So unless tournaments are structured differently, like maybe they do best 2 out of 3 in tournaments or 3 out of 5, who knows. But yeah, 3 Edgem Scythe, really good card. 3 Fluffal Dog, pretty standard. I see some people running 2, which makes sense, but I like 3. I guess if you really need the deck space, you can cut this to 2 if you really want to, but obviously it's the Stratos of the deck, and not a lot of people are running Joel, so I feel like 3 Fluffal Dog, at least for now, is really good, and probably going to stay that way too. Triple Edgem Chain, one of the best cards in the deck, of course. Sent from hand or field by grave, search any Frightfur card. grabs your patchwork, so you get a free fusion summon off of it essentially. And then the other best card of the deck, Fluffal Penguin. When it specials a Fluffal once while it's on the field from the hand, so you can recur it back multiple times and use it multiple times per turn if you can. But yeah, and also when it's when it's used for fusion material for Frightfur, you draw 2 pitch 1, which is a really really good effect. And its partner in crime, Fluffal Dolphin, just 1. It's searchable, and you mainly just want to see it either if you search it off of like anything and you have a penguin out, or you have Foolish Burial Goods. It's a free wings combo if you can get it to grave. So yeah. And then the last but not least, 1 Artifact Scythe. This is for your going first options. At least for me for right now. I'm probably gonna stick with it anyways. But yeah, it locks out an extra deck, of course. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. On to my spells. Triple Poly. I really like triple. You'll see from the replay that I'm gonna show afterwards, by the way, that triple poly is like essential for your grind game. If you're running 2 poly, you're gonna lose gas like by turn 3 or 4 if you need to break boards. And in Master Duel, you're gonna like find a lot of situations where you need to break big boards, and poly 3 poly 100% helps with that. And it's technically 4 with the dolphin recursion, but you don't always get dolphin recursion off, so 3 is really nice. And then the 1 Frightfur Fusion. I've seen people bump this up to 2, which isn't terrible. It's just a searchable, and also you have Verte for it. So, yeah, Frightfur Fusion at 1's pretty standard. Triple Foolish Burial Goods. I was running it at 2 before, but I feel like 3 is very solid, just for your consistency. I mean, 2 still works, but 3 is really good. Whatever you want, honestly. I like 3. It doesn't, or 2. It doesn't really matter. Triple Patchwork. Oh, also side note, if you're making it strictly going second, 2 might be the way to go, because if they stop your goods, then you're down a card, and if you draw multiple goods, then you're down 2 cards. So, I mean, you can only activate 1 Foolish Burial Goods per turn, but like if they have like a targeting spell trap negate or something like that, then like you just, or like an Ash Blossom, that's gonna destroy you, or Droll, that'll just ruin your day. Anyways, Triple Patchwork, standard, searches any edge in poly, very very good. 1 Lightning Storm from the bundle, also just a very good card, but you don't want to see it if you're going first, or if you already have a board established and you need to do something before this going second, or like you draw it afterwards, you know what I mean. 1 Frightfur Repair, send target for your Crew Whales. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory, pretty standard, just 1. Triple Toy Vendor. T-Vendo is like the heart and soul of the deck. Loop it multiple times per turn. You can recycle it back with Dolphin, send it, or obviously set it with Bear, and send it with Wings and get your 2+2, whatever. Just a crazy card. Sorry. Excuse me. 1 Forbidden Lance, just because I pulled it, or managed to pull it, and it's like an alright tech. I mean, it dodges like Imperm, or like Droplets or Chalice, or like anything that's really bad that you can't clear. But I mean, you can just run Spell and Trap removal. It does the same thing essentially, for the most part. Speaking of 1 Twin Twisters, which I also pulled. Like most of these, I just like pulled and I'm just using them for now. But once I grind for more stuff, which I have like the stuff, I just haven't really been buying or spending my whatever these things are called, my CP. To get stuff, but because I'm still thinking 100% on what I want to get, so I'm trying to be conscious on that. But yeah, it's the 1 Twin Twisters, just for going second, as a going second option, and because Imperm is a card, Twin Twisters helps with clearing that before you go into your Tiger and blow up their whole board. And then last but not least, 3 Forbidden Droplet, easily like the best going second card in your deck, breaks boards and helps you go for game. Pretty self-explanatory, and gets your sends for Toy Vendor, your chain. Guess it gets your Wings engraved if you need it. Just really really helpful. Now onto the extra deck. 1 Wolf, just because it helps you clean out games sometimes. Not necessary, but I just have the extra deck space because I haven't spent all my things. Of course, you don't see the totally awesome package, but I definitely just cut, like, this isn't here for no reason. Like, there's literally there's a free link too. So, like, literally just early Master Duel. So, Obviously, these two would probably replace my Toad package, but right now they're both ultra rares, so I'm not getting them yet. I'm just gonna spend them on staples probably before I do that if I really need to, but whatever. Two Tiger. Two Tiger comes up sometimes. You can run it at one, but I wouldn't recommend it. Just because there's a lot of or I guess there are situations where you're gonna need two, and especially when you're sending with crew and you're out of send targets, like you're in the grind game. Usually just send one of your Tigers, so you have another one still. But yeah. One Sabretooth, you'll see in the replay, this card is kind of necessary. It doesn't come up every time, but in the matches it does come up with his invincibility, and its revive too is really good. But it's invincibility mainly. Just like some decks cannot out it, and you sit on defense so you have full combo, and then you just, yeah. One Fright for Kraken. It's like a pseudo wolf, but kind of better. Has more attack and can attack twice, which is like Dante, you know the deal. And I'm running 3 Cruel Whale, best fusion in the deck. It's the reason Edge Scythe is so good. You can use it on your opponent's turn to fusion summon this guy. On summon, he pops 1 card on both players' fields, and this protects, so you just keep the big body out. And he's an extender because he sends from deck to grave the Fright for Repair to special from your hand. And yeah, so running 3 because of this guy, and I know I just like 3 anyways, but also, True King of All Calamities is legal, so you guys know what VFD is in the virtual world format. Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, if you guys don't know what this thing does, because maybe you're like newer to Yu-Gi-Oh, and you played like after this got hit, it's once per turn quick effect. You can just detach a material, declare 1 attribute, and then your opponent can activate any monster effects in their possession of that attribute for the rest of the turn. Everything on the field gets changed to that attribute, and they can't attack either. So basically just like skill drains your opponent, but better, and from hand and grave. So yeah, it's pretty nasty. Should have stayed banned, but I guess not. 1 Nightmare Phoenix, essential out to IO and problematic trap cards. 1 Reaper Docus, just because I already explained that. 1 Cross Sheep, very, very good. It's like a Fluffal card, essentially. You just summon your fusion to it, or anything while you have a fusion pointing to it, and it sends another from grave, or like another monster from grave. It gets, like, it recurs your Penguin too, which is nice sometimes. 1 Dagda for going first, so you can set Scythe from deck. 1 Verte for Fright for Fusion. Also not sure why this is limited to 1. I've never seen a deck run more than 1 Verte, unless maybe Predaplant, but yeah, you only need the 1 Verte anyways to send the Fright for Fusion. I guess, like, if 2 were legal, you could just go for a poly, but there's not really a point, because at that point you're probably just going to find, like, a Fright for Patchwork, send another poly, or you just already give me out of them. And then, last but not least, 1 Appaloosa. Just very, very good, of course. You can easily make it in this deck on top of, like, extra deck lock, and then if I had Toad. But, yeah. Yeah, it's like just a really good going first play, of course. And, yeah, so it's 41 cards. Very, very solid. I like it. Especially now I can play with 3 droplets. I really like it. And VFD, I guess. I haven't really been able to use VFD. It hasn't been a lot of situations, but when it comes up, it comes up. So, yeah, I have a replay now that I just played. And honestly, it kind of just shows this deck's, like, full potential and what it can do. Well, not full potential, but you know what I mean. Like, it shows how, like, versatile the deck can be, essentially. So, yeah, I should get onto that now. See you. Alright, guys, so this is the replay. So I couldn't really stop it before it started. So, this is my starting hand that I had this game. He made me go second. So I was kind of surprised on that, but it's happened, like, quite a bit, surprisingly, while I've played. But anyways, our opening hand, not the best. Edge Sabers, Artifact Scythe, Poly, Toy Vendor, Droplet. So it's kind of like a luck-based hand off a Toy Vendor. I think that's what I go for. I just gotta watch it back. So yeah, I'll keep on watching. So yeah, so we drop the Toy Vendor. Toy Vendor send Sabers, and we hit the dog, which is really good. Dog specials, grab wings. So you normal summon wings to link 2 into a Cross Sheep. I was kind of thinking, like, maybe I don't go for Cross Sheep and just go for, like, a Reapodocus, which is kind of funny because, like, it's kind of like a throwaway card, but I could have used it there just because in case I don't see anything, I don't want to waste my Cross Sheep, you know? off of the wings, but I'm like almost guaranteed to get something with a Poly and Sabers engraved, just in like, just in general. So yeah, so I go wings, I banish the dog. Luckily, he didn't have anything. It was weird because he was waiting on like responses, but I knew it wasn't Ash because he had the option to when I just had Cross Sheep out and I didn't like do any other effect. He had the option to like do something, so I knew he didn't have Ash, which is kind of like a weird thing about automated sims. But anyways, yeah, so I drew Ash and Lightning Storm, which kind of sucks. I mean, Ash is good, but Lightning Storm's so I was like wondering what deck he was playing. I didn't really know what card it would have been, like maybe like Imperm or Veil or something. So I summoned back the Sabers at Poly because I have Penguin in hand now. And then we just go for the Cruel Whale, so we can get Ascend. And then Penguin and Cross Sheep. I messed this up. So what I should have done was, because I knew I stacked Lightning Storm on the top of my deck, I should have went Chain Link 1 be Cross Sheep, Chain Link 2 be the Penguin, and then Chain Link 3 Cruel Whale to send, I can't remember the name, Repair, Fight for Repair, so I can shuffle my deck so I don't guarantee draw into at least one Lightning Storm. But I mean, it wasn't the worst. I can just pitch the Lightning Storm, but I mean, if I drew like Chain and something else, that would have been nuts. And yeah, so I should have also activated Cross Sheep before the Penguin, so I could summon back the Penguin, because I think I'm like 99% sure that if I summon back the Penguin, it moves where the location was, where it activated, so it wouldn't get the effect off the draw 2 pitch one. So yeah, yeah, I'm like 100% sure. So yeah, if I activated Cross Sheep first, then I could have revived the Penguin, but I couldn't. I drew Scythe anyways, which honestly, like, this comes in clutch. So I have a Scythe and a Artifact Scythe and a Droplet set, and he's playing Skull Servants, and I don't really know how this deck plays. Like, I've never played against this deck actually, without like bodying it. The one time I did a while ago, but he he opened 2 of this, so he was gonna go to battle phase, or leave the phase, presumably to swing over my guy. So I just made an Invincible Sabertooth, and had a Cross Sheep effect up, and I was like, alright, with Cross Sheep staying out, you'll see, because I have the Droplet set, so if he summons like a King of the Skull Servants or just any monster, I can send it with Droplets, so I can get it off the field. And like in this matchup, like, it's not like the worst if I get rid of my Droplets this early, because I have 2 more in deck anyways. But he sends a 3rd White Princess, so I'm like, what in the world's going on? So I didn't read, so I just kept on going, and oh, alright. And apparently, so I just banished Penguin and Sabers for Kraken. Apparently this isn't once per turn, so I just hit him for 700 and passed. Which, I mean, no, I'm not going to say anything, but yeah. So this next part too, I'm pretty sure this is the part I'm thinking of. No, it isn't. Okay, yeah, so I kind of like don't know what the back row is, so I draw Twin Twisters, and I don't want to play into, like, I don't know what he's playing. It could be like Mirror Force for all I know, so I don't decide to swing, and I wouldn't have a game anyways because I set him with Kraken because I don't know what the deck does, so I decided to send. I was assuming something would happen when it gets destroyed. So anyways, he had Torrential Tribute, so I'm an idiot, and hold up. So I'm gonna read Ezram Scythe. Where is it? If a Fright for fusion monsters you control be destroyed a ballot card, if I can banish card from graveyard instead. So what I was thinking was just one monster, and I get to choose. Just honestly, like, this torrential interaction is like never came up for me somehow. So I just Forbidden Lanced it and thought that everything would be okay, but no. So yeah. Anyways, misplays aside, this is where stuff starts going bad for me. He adds a White Prince and whatever the other one is. Forget what it's called, but it just sends a whole bunch of stuff, and then summons a big jacked King of the Skull Servants. Sends the guy I don't know the name of to target Lady in White from his banish to special. So I had to drop Droplets here because Lady in White reads when it comes out. face up level 3 or lower zombie monsters in the field except Lady in White cannot be destroyed by battle and are unaffected by spell trap cards and effects. So if I hell on the droplets, he just goes to the battle phase and swings at my Kraken, I take a lot of damage for no reason. So I was forced to droplets there. I mean, maybe I could have just negated the Lady in White, but I don't think that's how it works. Like at the same time, but I don't think that's how it works. Maybe it is, but not 100% sure. Nothing but it probably is, so yeah. Also, Union Carrier, did not know this was legal, but I guess it is. But luckily for me, he just equips this thing, which I mean, it's still like alright, and I don't think he meant to crash that Union Carrier, but maybe he did because like he was thinking he could just get like OTK'd, which makes sense now I think about it, but yeah. So this guy's 9,000, so I'm like, shit, what do I do about this? I Foolish Burial Goods just thin my deck, because I know this is gonna, like I know that this Sabertooth is sticking for a while, so I'm just gonna sit on a dog and switch everything to defense and pass. I can fast forward here, because there's a couple turns where he just destroys my Cruel Whale. I draw a Toy Vendor, I set Twin Twisters, and he can't kill this. So end phase, I try to pop both of those, use Dark Sacrifice, which protects his other trap, which I don't even remember what it was. I don't think it was anything too big, but whatever, we'll see. So I get Toy Vendor effect, luckily. Or not luckily, you know what I mean. To get Octopus, for the obviously just to recur my stuff. I have like a play thinking in the future for this. So I'm thinking the more Fluffals I get, once I see a Patchwork, and once I see another access to Poly, or like a chain or something, I just Patchwork and then wait a turn, because I can just sit on this guy for however long I want. I can recur back the Sabers in my grave, special summon it back, and then summon a Tiger and pop all of his stuff and go for a game. So that's like the play. I'm thinking like 10 steps ahead on this guy. But I mean, this is a good duel, so I like this one. So he's got like these beefy boys, and I can't do anything about him yet. So I top deck Patchwork. So this is coming faster than I expected. Poly and Chain. That's what she said, by the way. Poly and Chain. I don't want to commit to anything yet. I'm just gonna wait for next turn so I can use Patchwork again. So he sets another card and passes. And here is, I think, where I start doing my stuff. So I repaired a special. So the reason I do this first is because if I normal summon this thing in attack and he has something to negate this, my plan doesn't work. So or it doesn't work, like I can't like technically kill him on the next turn. I wouldn't have enough resources. But yeah, like I was just gonna fish for a penguin here. So if he negates this, is stuck in attack, he just swings at me for game. So, and also I'm only at 49, so even if I had like a droplets or something, it wouldn't help. So yeah, he goes for Fluffal Penguin, or I go for Fluffal Penguin. I poly the Chain and the Octopus. And the reason I do Chain and Octopus is Chain and Penguin here. And also I summon this thing in defense too, because the exact same reason. You could have like Imperm or another Dark Sacrifice too, which should just stop my whole turn, and then I just screwed. So here I sent the what's it called, the Octopus, because I can recur back my Sabers, like I said earlier. So obviously Cruel gets the pop. I can just attempt to pop the Sabertooth, but it won't get destroyed, of course. So I just snipe one of his back row, I believe, here. And then Octopus obviously recurs. Yeah, so I got Wings and Sabers back. Grab the Patchwork, and then I don't remember. Yeah, I just pop the new back row with some like weird, I don't know, I think it was like some normal trap, but like trap for normal monsters. I don't remember what it does. So yeah. I just grab a Scythe just for like, I might like be pitching it, or I most likely will be. And here I go for Phoenix before I do anything. Because if this is an Imperm and I just straight up summon Tiger, and like I try to go for game with that, and he Imperms it or whatever, then I just lose the game because he just swings at me. So I'm trying to play this very carefully. So I pop it wasn't Imperm or anything like that, so. And then I use 3 to summon Tiger, and I can just blow up the rest of his board with this. So I just summon an attack knowing that he has nothing. And then Penguin, draw 2, pitch 1, which is, you know, Penguin. Which actually, funnily enough, this actually does help out. So he gets this, he returns whatever back to grave, and I summon the sheep, so these all get attack boosts, and then I swing just barely enough for game. Well, not barely enough, but you know what I mean. So yeah, that was a very good duel. I did like that duel. It was very enjoyable. GG's, my guy. So yeah, that's one example of many of a good grind game for Fluffals. And why you have to run 3 poly. Why you can't run 2 poly, because then your grind game's ruined. But yeah, hopefully this inspires you to play Fluffals. I mean, the deck's really cool. The deck's really fun. I've enjoyed it for years. Of course, in the TCG right now, I don't know if it's the best deck just because of Droll and Lockbird. The amount of hand traps like Imperm, Droll, and Lockbird, Forbidden Droplet 2, Forbidden Chalice being played 2, just stopping like your Tiger and Cruel Whale pops is just like devastating for the deck. And yeah, and Ash coming back too, which I mean, like Ash isn't horrendous for the deck, but it's obviously not good if you get Ashed on like a choke point like that you could have in your hand because you have like a mediocre hand. So yeah, but like in Master Duel, at least for right now, like it seems very tame with hand traps. So I mean, just it's a really good deck for going first and going second too. So that's why I like this deck a lot in Master Duel, best of ones. So yeah, hopefully this inspires you to play the deck, and see you.